While thousands of players spent their Sunday chasing down a dream in the World Series of Poker main event, thousands more set their sights on spinning a $215 buy-in into a six-figure score from the comfort of their own homes. 5,705 players took part in the Sunday Million, and this is your final nine. Conjunk from the UK, our chip leader at the start of the final table action with 10.1 million chips in play. Poker Steffi, our short stack with 2.6 million. We're going to jump ahead a little bit, but Conjunk's still our chip leader. Poker Steffi, still the short stack. I'm David Tuckman, and this is your Sunday Million Highlight Show. By the way, just for the record, it's 46 degrees in Las Vegas. I'm going to go on just a little bit of a hunch that it's a tad more comfortable in your own house. Excellence has raised 2x, that's 2 times the big blind. Blinds are 125,000, 250,000. And you can see the writing on the wall here. Poker Steffi with the queens. On your 10 big blinds. Probably figuring out a way to trap her opponent. Little does she know, it's all going in. Poker Steffi, by the way, from Bulgaria. And there it is, all in for just under 2.4 million chips. Action Junk out of the way. Kim Rami, no thank you. Conjunk, I can't imagine he calling. This should fold around back to Excellence. And pretty easy call for Excellence with Ace-King. Kind of the day of two countries. 2 players from the UK, 2 from Bulgaria, 2 from the Netherlands, and 2 from the Russian Federation. Excellence makes the call. King 9-9, not looking good for Poker Steffi. Her tournament life on the line. 4 clubs, not going to help. A queen and only a queen will save her. Unfortunately for her, Poker Steffi is gone in 9th place. Does earn herself about $8,900. So 8 players remain. Blinds now 150,000, 300,000. The mighty DR, now our chip leader on hand 25 with 11.2 million chips. The mighty DR from the UK. Bradford, to be more specific. Frank 197 raises with deuces. Over to Kim Rami in the small blind. Gonna pass. Conjunk. Got 10 million chips. Gonna make the call with the King Queen. Jack 10. Interesting flop. Deuce is still in the lead, but not in great shape at all. A 9, an ace, a king, a queen, or a 10 will win it for Conjunk. And even though Conjunk is behind right now, actually more than a 3-2 favorite to win the hand if it goes to showdown. Continuation bet from Frank. Conjunk's going to make the call. Pot is now 3.4 million chips. 6 of clubs, more outs now. A 6, a 10, a 9, an ace, a king, or a queen will do it for Conjunk. Can Frank fire that second bullet? No, he's going to slow down. 9 of spades. Conjunk has made the straight. 3 spades out there. Conjunk's going to bet 1.5 million. And obviously Frank can't make this call. When you check back the turn, you're pretty much giving it up, especially with 2 deuces. And sure enough, Conjunk up to 12.1 million, our new chip leader. Hand 26. Excellence makes it 2x. Frank folds. Nicolo, not going to play this one. Kim Romy on the button. This is an interesting hand because it looks really pretty, but you've got to look at your stack size. And with 1.7 million chips, you can't play this hand. You've got less than 6 big blinds. Good fold by Kim Romy. Conjunk can most definitely play this hand with the ace-king. Decides once again to just call pre-flop. This time with a premium hand. King, Jack, 8. I'm not a big fan of playing ace-king fast pre-flop. That said, if I've got my opponent covered and my opponent has less than 20 big blinds, I'm probably going to put some pressure on them. Conjunct leads out. Excellence makes the call. 9 of diamonds. Excellence now open-ended. You can see Conjunct a big favorite with 1 card to come, but Excellence still has a lot of equity in the pot. And Conjunct checks, and I'm assuming checking to get it in. You're not playing ace-king this way to fold. That's for sure. And it goes check, check. River's a complete blank. Conjunct checks one more street. This would be really thin value for Excellence to bet. He decides to just check it back, and Conjunct is going to win that hand. Conjunct now up to 14.7 million chips. Nicolo with the 10s. There's the raise, just over 2x. Action Junk decides not to shove there. And of course, huge pay discrepancies between 8th place and, say, 5th place and 4th place. And that could be a factor, of course. Soldier 1912 with the Snowmen. Probably thinking about a 3-bet shove here. The only question is, and there it is, the 3-bet shove. The only question is, can Soldier 1912 get a better hand to fold? If you can get a better hand to fold, I love the play. Nice aggressive play from Soldier 1912. Gets a better hand to fold. Fantastic. Now, comfortably up to about 7.5 million chips. I don't know if that particular play works against other competition, but I'm assuming these players have some history. They know each other, and obviously Soldier 1912 knew that maybe I could get Nicolo 5 to fold a better hand, and sure enough, Soldier 1912 did just that. Kim Romy all in with the King, Queen. Conjunct makes the call with the Ace-9 of spades. Action Junk not going to play Dolly Parton, that's for sure. And we will see a virtual coin flip. Obviously, Conjunct, a slight favorite, but not a very big favorite with Kim Romy having the live cards. 9 deuce deuce. Well, Conjunct way in the lead now. Jack of diamonds, though. A 10, a diamond, a king, or a queen. There's the queen, and Kim Romy doubles up. Don't cry for Conjunct, though. He's picked up aces. And Excellence is in a really tough spot. Well, that's an interesting play. You don't normally see players raise when they're only 10 big blinds deep. Yeah, that's exactly what Excellence did. Most players, when they're 10 big blinds, they just generally shove all in. Over to Conjunct. And we saw him slow play the ace-king. We saw him slow play the king-queen. And I shouldn't say slow play it. Really just not play the hand very aggressively pre-flop. Here, though, strong 3-bet. Excellence not going anywhere. I imagine that will get rid of Franck 1978. Sure enough, Franck does fold, and Excellence all in at risk. And a 4-1 dog. 5-5-4, 2 clubs out there, neither player with a club in their hand. 10 of diamonds, not going to do anything. Excellence needs a 9 and only a 9. And that, my friends, is not a 9. Excellence from Sweden, gone in 8th place, $14,262 richer. Conjunk, firmly our chip leader. Now, if you want to play in this tournament for free, Stars is giving you that opportunity. Click on Tournament, click on Free Roll, scroll down. But you need the password, and that's coming later.
We are anticipation. Committed. Anonymous. Focused. Holding it in. We are poker.
Welcome back to the Sunday Million Highlight Show. Conjunk, our chip leader at hand 34 with 16.3 million chips. Kim Rami, the short stack with 4.6 million chips. We're going to jump ahead a few hands. Kim Rami, once again, still our short stack. Conjunk from the UK, still our chip leader. Blind still 150,000, 300,000. And I tell you, Conjunk, the deck is hitting him in the face. 41 hands in. This is the second time we've seen him have ace-king. He's also had aces. And gotten action every single time. Kim Rami not going to try to steal on the button. Lucky she didn't. Conjunk going to raise from the small blind. Soldier with just about 22 big blinds. Wouldn't shock me if we saw a shove here. Obviously one of the more aggressive players at this table. We saw him doing with the 8s earlier on. There's the shove. Almost definitely going to see a call here from Conjunk. Sure enough, there is the call. Soldier at risk, a slight favorite. Well, a slight favorite, no more. King, Queen, 9 out there. Top pair, top kicker for Conjunk. Only a 4 will save Soldier. Soldier 1912, no longer with us. The Bulgarian, gone in 7th place, $25,102 richer. Blinds now 200,000, 400,000. Conjunk, an overwhelming chip leader. Going to raise to 1.2 million. And it was right around now that these players decided to make a deal. Very rarely will we see a 6-way deal, but that's exactly what we saw. All these players now guaranteed at least $56,000. Raise from Conjunk, a call from Frank 978. Ace, King, 5. And, well, certainly an interesting flop. Conjunk, obviously behind, has a gut shot with the flush draw, and actually has a gut shot straight flush draw. Frank with second pair. No reason for Conjunk not to bet this. Your opponent didn't 3-bet. The likelihood of them having a big ace, not that strong. And if your opponent does have a king or something like 9s or 8s, you want to get them to fold. A bet from Conjunk, a call. I don't mind keep firing this. I mean, I think you can really put pressure on your opponent, especially because they only have 5.2 million chips. And it goes check, check. River's the 4 diamonds. And now the line you've taken, if you're Conjunk, you really can't bet this now. You just got to give it up. Gonna bet 2.8 million, and if you're Frank 1978, pretty easy call. And there it is. There's the call. Pot 11.2 million chips over to Frank 1978, now up to 13.6 million chips. I might have lost that hand anyway, but I think I'm probably gonna fire the turn. I don't think my opponent is very, very strong, and if they're not super strong, I'm going to put some pressure on them. I'm the chip leader. Then again, considering they just made a deal, that might lessen the influence your chips have, the power your chips have, so to speak. Get a raise here from the mighty DR with Queen Jack. And I mentioned a little bit earlier, how the deck was hitting conjunct in the face. Once again, in the face with the aces. Kim Rami's not going to play the queen 10. Over to conjunct. Wow, a re-raise all in with aces. I mean, you're almost forcing your opponent to play proper poker. Obviously, he gets the folds. I don't really understand the shove, though. Why not give your opponent a little bit of rope? See if they'll hang themselves. Who knows? They made it $1 million. You can make it $3 million, 2-8, 3-2. Make it at least look like there's some fold equity so if they come back over the top. Franck 1978 raises. Nicolo folds. Action junk all in with the ace-7. Six-handed. Probably feels like he has some fold equity at the same time. Might think his ace is good. Unfortunately for him, he is dominated by Franck's ace-king. Franck a huge favorite, obviously. Jack 9-5, 2 hearts out there. Franck has the king of hearts in his hand. Queen of spades, not going to help. A 7 and only a 7 will save action junk. Queen of clubs, not going to do it. And action junk is gone in 6th place. Courtesy of that deal, he will take home $76,305. Franck now 20 million chips, cementing himself in 2nd place. A raise from Franck. Here comes the all-in. Yep, there's the all-in. Pretty standard. It's another $4.1 million back to Franck 1978. Depending on how tight Nicolo is, this might be close. I'm going to guess he's going to make this call, though. He's got 19 million chips, or almost 20 million chips behind. He makes the call. He's getting about 1.6 to 1. Ace, queen, 10. A king or a jack will save Nicolo. Only a king or a jack. 6 of clubs, not going to help. And Nicolo 5, gone in 5th place. He's from the Russian Federation and will take home nearly $78,000. 4 players remain in the Sunday Million. Once again, I'm David Tuckman. Blinds are $200,000, $400,000. There's the all-in from Kim Rami. Conjunct's definitely going to call this. Might even re-raise. Just going to call. Over to the mighty DR. Not going to play this. Franck might call this with deuces. I would if I was Franck. Franck makes the call, and you got to realize your opponent conjunct might not raise you off your hand, and deuces might actually hold up. King, king, 3. Deuces, still the best. I know a lot of players in this situation who just check it down. There's no side pot to fight for. I'm not an advocate for that. I actually prefer betting in certain situations. And I don't mind this bet by conjunct at all. Franck makes the call, though. Nine of clubs. Franck's got to dodge a lot of cards. Still in the lead, though, with the deuces. Check once again. Conjunct checks it back. 10 of spades. And Franck's deuces are good. No value in betting. Unless you're turning your hand into a bluff. Doesn't really make much sense. Over to conjunct. Conjunct's going to bet 4.8 million chips, and I love this bet. It's a really interesting bet. After checking back the turn, this screams like a value bet, gets the deuces to fold, and conjunct, our chip leader, is going to win the entire pot. Kim Rami, gone in 4th place.
We are competition. Aggression. Calculating. We are trapped. Fighting back. We are heroes. We are poker.
Welcome back. Every Sunday, you could win six figures. And you know what? We're going to give you the opportunity to win them for free. But you need the password. There it is. It's cubed. Make sure you get in on the action. 3 players remain. Conjunk with nearly 30 million chips. Frank, just over 21 million. Our short stack, the mighty DR from Bradford, UK, down to under 6 million chips. Hand 54. We're going to jump ahead here. Blinds 200,000, 400,000. Frank raising on the button. So Kim Rami was lost in 4th place from the Netherlands. Nearly $57,000 richer. Ace, deuce, deuce. I'm not sure if I'm calling with the Queen 8 of hearts. Just not quite deep enough. Might be 3-betting that or folding. Good turn card if you're Frank, 1978. He makes the wheel. Ace, deuce, 3, 4, 5. The mighty DR can only win this pot if somehow he gets Frank to fold. Between you and me and the postman, that's not going to happen. The mighty DR bets $1 million. Frank makes the call. I like it. Seven of clubs, not going to change much. And the mighty DR gives up. Playing the hand a little bit passively. And it's one thing to play your hands a little bit passively or conservatively, I should say, when you're in a full ring game. 3-handed as a short stack, you've got nothing to lose. Especially considering you've already made a deal. Obviously, the mighty DR not going to call here. Just one of those things where the mighty DR's already guaranteed himself about $90,000. You are the short stack. If I've got a hand like Queen 8 of hearts and I'm going to play it at all, I'm going to shove all in. I'm going to put the pressure on my opponents. Here's the shove all in from the mighty DR. Frank's not going to call, but Conjunk might. Conjunk does make the call. Pot 11 million chips. King, queen, 7, 2 spades out there. Conjunk has the ace of spades in his hand. Deuce of diamonds not going to do anything. An ace and only an ace will eliminate the mighty DR. Deuce of spades not going to help, and the mighty DR now up over 11 million chips. Don't get me wrong, in that previous hand when he had the Queen 8 of hearts, I don't know if I'm necessarily playing the hand at all. I might fold it. But if I'm going to play it, I'm going to play it aggressively. Conjunk moves all in with the ace-10. I think the mighty DR is going to call here, and he probably should. He makes the call. Unfortunately for him, he's dominated. Ace-10 versus ace-8. Pot is 26.8 million chips. Queen 5-5. A queen chops it. A queen or a 9 chop it. An 8 wins it for the mighty DR. Otherwise, this tournament's over. For him, at least. Deuce of hearts, and the mighty DR is out in 3rd place. Like I said earlier, nearly $90,000 more in his pocket. Not a bad day's work. Conjunk, just about 38 million chips. Frank with about 18 million chips. A little bit more than a 2-to-1 chip advantage. You get a raise in the button, a 3-bet from Conjunk. It's amazing how different final tables show you different things. Some final tables, we see tons of 3-betting and 4-betting and bluffs and moves. This has been a very, very conservative final table. Pot already 12 million chips. Conjunk out of position with, well, a pretty junk hand, Jack 6 offsuit. Conjunk's going to lead out for 1.6 million. That's never going to get through. The pot is 12 million. But he probably has a reason for it. Franck immediately going to raise. Conjunk folds. I mean, if your opponent's going to lead out that small, it's almost risk-free to put a small little raise out there if there's a chance they might fold. Franck didn't necessarily need a king there to make that play. Raising the button with Dolly Parton. Conjunk makes the call. Hand 76. Amazingly, considering how conservative this final table is played, it's actually been very fast, though. 75 hands in, and we're already heads up. Check, check. Franck hits his 9 on the turn. I'm surprised Franck didn't bet that. There's one thing to go there when you have a flush draw if you've got some showdown value, but when you have a flush draw and you only have a 9 high, you have to imagine that at some point you're going to either have to hit your diamond, hit a 9, or get lucky. A bet from Conjunk, a call from Franck. A 10 in Conjunk is actually backed into a straight. And he moves all in. Franck lets his 9 go, and that's the end of that one. You never know if a bet on the flop gets through or not. But I'm a big fan of putting the semi-bluff out there, especially when your hand has no showdown value. Raising the button, Conjunk makes the call. Franck with top pair. You see the one issue here. We're showing you the best hands, obviously. This is a highlight show. That said, every single hand we're showing you, pretty much the hands that have significant action, are with Franck on the button. Huge advantage, obviously, to be on the button, in position. Franck with trips now. And that might keep Conjunk around. Conjunk's going to lead out for 5.2 million. Franck makes the call. Pot now 14.5 million chips. Oh, another jack out there. Now remember, Conjunk can't beat a 10, though. And he checks. Now, would Franck play king-queen this way? Would he play queen-9 this way? Would he play a diamond draw this way? When Franck bets here, Conjunk can only beat a bluff. He has a bluff catcher. That said, your opponent definitely could have a bluff. Conjunk makes the call, and Franck is our new chip leader. He's up to 32.5 million chips. Position's so important in this game. And once again, we see Franck on the button and Conjunk out of position. Not only are you playing the hand out of position, but you're also playing it with a pretty junky hand, 5 deuce. We've seen him play 5 deuce twice. We've seen him play Jack 6 offsuit out of position. Conjunk leads out for 10 million. Wow. That was a pretty hefty bet. Risking 10 million to win 2 million. Franck raising on the button. Conjunk makes the call. Out of position with 10-5. Ace 10, 7, 2 diamonds. I haven't seen how this ends, but if it continues like this, I don't see how Franck could lose. Conjunk just shoves all in with the pair of 10s. Franck makes the call, and this could be it. Franck about a 4-1 favorite to win the hand and win the tournament right here. These players are virtually even in chips. The winner of this hand should most definitely win the tournament. Conjunk needs a 10 or a 5. And that is not a 10 or a 5. Conjunk finishes in second place from the UK. Courtesy of that deal, takes home just over $124,000. But our champion, Frank, 1978 685, your Sunday Million champion, congratulations indeed, wins $124,000. Very impressive performance by Frank from the Russian Federation, from Moscow to be more specific. The best players in the world, the most successful poker players in the world, adjust and adapt to their competition. Frank, 1978, did just that, and he is your Sunday Million champion. As always, all the highlights here on PokerStars.tv. I hope you enjoyed the show as much as I did. Until next time, I'm David Tuckman. Reach the stars.